Cape Town? Can you actually find love or just situationships? Please note that the content of this video reflects my personal opinions, experiences, and thoughts, and if you have any to add, please put those down in the comment section below. So take this walk with me. I'm about to go to the grocery store, get some things, and also meet my friend for lunch. It's been a year I haven't seen her, but let's get into the video. I have to say anything is possible, but if you recall from the last video, I did say that here in Cape Town, when it comes to dating, it feels like back home in the US. And what does that mean? Well, I'm gonna give you a little preview, especially for North Americans who are planning to come here, especially to Cape Town. But I'm pretty sure it's like that throughout the whole country, Johannesburg, Durban, wherever you go. And that is, as a North American, you're not going to be able to determine who is South African and who is not, because not everyone you will meet here is South African. Now, I am getting better throughout the years of determining who is not South African and who is South African by speech. By looking at someone, especially if they're a guy, I really can't tell unless they talk, because South African have an accent that you cannot copy. Let's put it like that. But just by looking at somebody, sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. But what is this leading to? Well, this is leading to, now I could be wrong. This is why I need some help in the comment section. From what I'm seeing, it seems like to me that the women here, South African women, have way more options when it comes to the dating pool than South African men. Now, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. Even if you're a South African woman, put it down in the comment section. Do you think I'm right or wrong about that? Most non-South Africans I meet here, they're men. And when I say meet, I mean like when I go to the gym or if I'm taking an Uber, they're men. And because of that, in my opinion, it seems like just overall the women here, the South African women, just have more of an option when it comes to the dating pool versus South African men. On top of that, you have different nationalities, of course. You have all these different types of dating apps. And then on top of that, if you think about it, then you have Europeans and you have Australians. When they want to escape their winter and go somewhere warmer, where do you think they want a vacation at for leisure? Now, I know it's a personal preference, so it varies from, each individual to each individual, but from Europe and Australia, they're probably Googling Johannesburg, Cape Town, where is more white people? Cape Town. Where's the beach? Cape Town. So they're coming here to Cape Town. So you have Europeans, Australians, and don't forget about us North Americans. You have Canada and you have the US. It's split between us. Some black people like going to Cape Town, like myself, and some like going to Johannesburg or other places. And I wanted to do a little bit of research based on any kind of valuable data, and I found that for South Africa as a whole, it appears that more men visit the country than women. And it says a recent report on international visitors to South Africa indicate that 59% of tourists were male, while 40% was female. So it's way more men than women visiting here in the country as a whole. But I'm pretty sure in Cape Town, it's way more men that's visiting this city. And what does all of this mean? To me, this all means as if I was back home in the US. The bigger the city, to me, in my opinion, it's not hard, but you might find some difficulty when it comes to finding something serious, because the dating pool is so large. You have so many different options. You got all these fucking different types of apps. You got all these different people flying into your city for business, for leisure. So it becomes really like competition. So I don't know how the South African men feel about it. I would be kind of fucking pissed, because now I got to compete against all these fucking foreigners. And with the women, I would love it, because I would have all these different types of options that, come to my city. But I'm pretty sure, like maybe, I'm just guessing, maybe like an hour or 2 hours out of Cape Town, there's some little town that when it comes to dating, it's great. I'm not saying that Cape Town isn't a place to date or it's hard to find a date or it's hard to find something serious, because like I said in the beginning, anything is possible. You can't have one hiccup of a bad date and blame the whole country. A lot of people do that online. I see videos and it kind of like piss me off, because basically that's a stereotype. So you can't do that. I don't like people doing that. But there are situationships here that I had personally in Cape Town. And I think at one time I did kind of have something, or had something serious. I don't know what happened with that. That's a long story. But hey, that's how life is. It's a roller coaster. You meet different characters. You're your own movie, and throughout your own movie, it never stops until you're in the grave. And every so often you meet new characters, and that's what has been happening to me here in Cape Town, meeting new characters. And you're about to meet her very soon. Like I said, it's been probably like a year since I seen her. But yeah, that's how it is. You go to a big city, and that city is well known for tourism. Usually what comes with that is a lot of different options and competition. Also nowadays, I think it's just a human thing. When you're given more options than usual, some people, they're gonna take as much as they can. That's how it is. Some people will and some people won't. Some people will get something and keep searching for something else, while others will get something, and I mean a relationship or a man or woman, whatever you're into, and you get something that's good and you stick with it. Some people can't do that. They have the attention span of a microwave. 2 minutes is their attention span, and they're off to something new or try to upgrade and get something better. And time just passed them by, and next thing you know, they're getting older and older, and they just continue doing the same thing. But also here in not just Cape Town, but South Africa in general, there's no real language barrier. So you got a lot of tourists want to come here because they speak English. Just that the only barrier you will have is maybe the accent. Like I said, the South African accent is like no other. You really can't copy it. It's very hard. You can copy an American accent, but trying to copy a South African accent, it's kind of a challenge. I try sometime. Always fuck it up. But yeah, and when it comes to the foreigners coming from North America, Europe, Australia, we come here and our money is a little bit more. So that's just more competition. So like I said, if I was a South African man, I don't know how I would feel about that. I would feel kind of pissed off. I would try to punch every foreigner I see, except for me. Give me a pass. Don't fuck me up. But also, I made a video about, because of us, the demand for goods and services increase, and what comes with that is inflation. And I kind of see that here. The raising the prices for us, because we can, pay for it, but they're forgetting about their people, the South African people, the local people. Are you going to increase their wages at the same time as you increase products and goods and services? Probably not. That's why, I always say all these countries, I think, that I visited, they fucked up in one way or another. And most countries, they don't really care about their citizens. It's about whoever is in power and their family. If you're not a part of their family, then you're not in it. You consider the lesser. But that's how I see dating here in Cape Town. Anything is possible, but yes, you will find some situationships, but hopefully you will find something that has a little bit more meaning. And for the guys, I know it's kind of hard, because I've never been to a country like South Africa here in Cape Town, that the women here, how can I describe it? Let me just show you this. Watch the president, Ramaphosa. Watch his eyes. He looking at ass. And you're going to do the same thing when you come here, especially if you're not South African. Your first time coming here, Cape Town, you will be doing the same thing that he just did, glancing at asses. I never seen the size of asses here in my life, up close in person, natural. I don't know if it's because they eat biltong or chicken livers with peri peri sauce. I don't know what the secret is. Could be the just the natural sunlight. I don't know, but big asses are here. Other parts of the body also. So I think I made it very clear. Anything is possible. Nothing is impossible. And of course, it all boils down to also your intentions. Because if you want something serious, you can't be living in another country and expect the other person to just wait for you like you some king or queen. So, you got to put the effort in and trying to visit as much you can or increase the duration of your visits, to try to make things work. That comes into play also, whether it becomes a situationship or something serious. So you got to keep that in mind also. So now I have finally met up with my friend. We're about to find a place to get something to eat. And like I said in my first video back here in Cape Town, that anything you want when it comes to food is here. So that's about the end of the video. Here's a golden lady.
How was that? With your hands?
Yeah.
With your hands?